Boy, it's been a minute since I done heard that sound, that video, and we live. We are here. We are back for today. We're gonna see where it goes. But it's your boy Swift. I just want to know Swift is SWAC, Jackson State graduate, two-time Jackson State graduate, Sonic Boom alum, Alphabet alum. I'm coming to you from Houston, Texas, by way of Lake Village, and I'm drinking on Remy tonight. We're gonna get a little ignorant. So I'm drinking on Remy. What's good? Who next? Where y'all
It's on you, T. T next.
What up? What up, though? What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Teasy back in the building. We like the new Undisputed. Got their first take, you know what I'm saying? We back on air.
Right.
For sure, man. Drinking on that done.
Hey, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, T.
Like my boy Joey, you know what
I'm
saying?
proud of you over there.
Tequila tonight, man. What's that?
Shit, what it do? It's your boy Crowley. Definitely grateful to be back in you all's graces again. You know me, I always represent that Uncle Nearest, twice graduate, as my boy Swift said, of the SWAC of the HBCU, D.I. Love. So, you know, you're going to see me interchangeable and represent that Uncle Nearest tonight. If you all get a chance, go get a bottle, go to the distillery, represent our people.
I got it on the side too, you know.
Oh, you see, you're going to make me stun on you real fast. The single barrel then.
There's levels to this. Levels.
It's levels to it.
Man, look, y'all gonna make me go get my bottle now, man. I feel bad because I'm just drinking on some Crown Black. You know, it ain't nothing spectacular over here, but you know, it's your boy Mike G, also from the Jacktown, prior graduate of Jackson State, also graduate of South Nola High School. You might remember we were back to back.
Well, nobody get no
back state championship. Hey, but hey, man, nobody care about all that, man. It's good to be back on the air. We got some stuff we got to talk about tonight, for real.
That boy Al Bundy, man, talking about
right.
Hey, don't forget about my 4 state championships in high school now.
It's your boy Who Is John P. I'm at my parents' crib in Mississippi. As you can see, we got the pictures of the Black Jesus and the Black Church behind me. I've been running around all day. I ain't even got my drink yet. But yeah, I usually will be drinking a tequila. But hey,
it's communion wine in that house.
Hey, you ain't lying. For the first time ever on Brothers Vent 2, we got a sober John P. Let's see what I say.
Right. I don't know what to expect from a sober John P.
I might have some rational thoughts tonight.
Right.
Lord.
But we're gonna jump right into it. We could not let this topic go by without jumping in and giving a real perspective from a HBCU. You disrespect me, Uncle Nearest. Tighten up, bro.
No, reach for the other bottle.
Oh, okay. From HBCU grads, we've seen a lot of conversation, discussion on social media, and a lot of it has been centered around crime. I've seen people I've never in my life talk about Jackson State or college football said they are now fans of what's going on at Boulder, right? But to get right into it, I see a lot of Jackson State grads and other people, other commentators, people on Facebook, social media, Instagram, say that JSU fumbled the bag with crime. Let's start there. We see what he's doing in Colorado. We see, the media attention, the celebrities on the sidelines. We're going to talk about that too. But a lot of people are saying that Jackson State fumbled the bag. And if you're in the comments tonight, let us know your thoughts too. First question, first discussion topic. Did JSU fumble the bag with Deion?
I'm gonna go and say we did fumble the bag, but not how people think.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, people say we fumbled the bag because we let Deion leave Jackson State. Nobody expected Deion to remain at Jackson State long term. When the rumor got out that he was coming to be our head coach, people were thinking he was gonna stay 2, 3 years. Some people said 4 years. As he kept going on and winning, we were thinking maybe he'll stay until his son went pro. But nobody expected him to stay. So if he left 2 years, all right. I say we fumbled the bag in there. We didn't maximize the time that he was here, in that we should have been putting in systems in place and getting that bag from other places, not from Deion getting the win. So I say in particular, like sponsorships, improving stadium operations, all those kind of things that would have been easier to do with Prime here.
I'm gonna start wearing a hat like T, man. Because whenever somebody's talking this cap, I'm gonna take it off and just show it in the camera. Cap. Just cap. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish, man. Go ahead, but it's cap.
Because other than Prime getting these wins, which was a good thing, what did Jackson State do during that time to use his name to our benefit?
What could we have done?
You said what?
What could we have done?
What could we have done? We could have leveraged his name. We could have been like, hey, we got Prime over here. Let's get some more checks coming over here. You know what I'm saying? We could be like, hey, like sponsorships, for example. We could have been like, hey, we got those banners and stuff. And I know Prime got a cut of the sponsorships that Jackson State was getting at football games too. But you know how we got
that in the contract though? You got to think about that. Was that in the contract? You know, if it's not in the contract, you know, he's coming to Jackson State. He's able to build in his brand with Jackson State because he's the coach. Now the question is, can Jackson State use his brand to build? You
don't have to use it directly. Everybody knew Prime was the coach of Jackson State for the last 2 years. You don't have to say his name in order to be associated with him. He was associated with Jackson State for the last 2 years.
So give me an example.
I was about to ask for an example.
Yeah,
you took the words out of my mouth, Crow. Give me an example of what you talking about.
Yeah, of how you would advertise or use that marketing strategy to go about using his name.
All right.
Without directly using.
I'm pretty sure Coach Prime, anything Prime related is copyright. So
right,
it is correctly. It is. But check this out. Just like when you know how the Super Bowl is licensed to one network, but other people call it the big game, and how they use the big game to promote things like the sale of TVs, all that kind of stuff. Same thing. We didn't have to say Prime at JSU. We could have just been like, hold on, y'all got me doing a whole marketing meeting over here.
well, you
don't have to say his name. Jackson State was on the national stage for the last 2 years. You didn't have to say his name.
I'm gonna switch to Mike. Mike, what you think?
Well, when you say fumbled the bag, I get what John is saying in terms of he don't feel like Jackson State as a whole benefited as much off of Prime as even for the first 3 games at Colorado. The stature of Colorado has gone from wherever it was to they're on TV 24/7.
Overnight.
Overnight, it really is. I mean, every sports talk radio show is trying to host their location in Boulder, Colorado. I think I just saw on Undisputed today that they're hosting their next live show in Boulder, Colorado. Undisputed's been on there. First Take's been on there. Game Day's been on there. Big Noon Kickoff. Everything you can think of, if they have a sports outlet, they have gravitated towards Boulder, Colorado. Now, can you say Jackson State fumbled the bag or society as a whole fumbled the bag? It seems like and this might be something Swiss is going to touch on later in another topic, but it seems like the support for Boulder is exponential now that it's at Boulder versus then when it was at Jackson State and we had opportunities to maximize on Deion. It seemed like we didn't get the support to maximize off of Deion the way they're getting support in Boulder. Mm-hmm. Again, that could be another conversation that you want to touch on later, but that's my small piece of just in retort to what John was saying that we fumbled the bag. I don't think that the rest of the people supported Jackson State in the same vein as they're supporting Boulder, Colorado.
And we are gonna get to that later, but to expound on that, like we said, that happened overnight. And a lot of the conversations you're hearing now is about how Deion is this successful Black coach, but everything is being attributed to what he's doing in Boulder and not what he's done over the last 2 years. They're really not including what he's done over at Jackson State. But we're gonna get into that later though. But
hold on real quick. One thing I want to say, when they say we fumbled the bag, are they saying that he should have still been the coach here if we would have paid him? Like, what do they necessarily mean by fumble?
Let me say what I'm seeing about fumble.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing people say that we didn't pay him what he was worth. I'm seeing that we didn't include in contracts or pay him what was in the contract about filling up the stadium. He gets a cut of the tickets, and there's this misconception that we are not paying him what he was supposed to get out of his contract as it relates to ticket sales, and that we just kind of let him walk out the door without trying to keep him at Jackson State. And to what Jay Ward said, you can't fumble someone that doesn't want to be there. I also want to include in this, when he first came to Jack State, he wasn't coming for the money. This came out of his own mouth, right? He said he was not coming there. Matter of fact, I'm going to play the clip. Hold on 1 second. Because y'all got me messed up tonight. Give me 1 second.
That boy Swift got the chopper.
Man, he
He
I already know what he
Hey,
He got receipts.
Look, he get it from his stepdaddy.
Chrome Starfish. All right, hold on. Let me share the screen 1 second. Let me present.
God knows I'm on the right path. I love it 100%. In a certain way, he's talking pointless rhetoric. Why else would I do this? I'm not in it for me.
Uh-oh. Did it freeze?
The man got that terrible Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you got that Verizon over there, my boy, and it. No, that T-Mobile.
Man, sit over there. Man, sit over there and start. Hey, he using Starbucks Wi-Fi out here.
Y'all get the point, right? He said,
I was about to say, I know the tip you're referring to. He said, hey, I'm living off 40 acres and a mule already. Why would I do this for the money? Right. You know, I'm doing this because this is God's calling. He called me. I'm pretty much.
He talking about my Wi-Fi. Look what happened.
Hey, you ain't lying.
He talking about my. You see, I'm protected. My mama prays for me every night. But the point is, he said he living on 180 acres and a mule. He paid. He not doing it for him. He doing it to bring exposure to HBCUs, to level the playing field, and to get his family and his people to the NFL from HBCUs, right? So how we fumble the bag? With no amount of money we were going to offer Dion. You know, I'm gonna let y'all finish. Go ahead, T.
Yeah. Jackson State. D.I. Love. Only thing we fumbled was letting that nigga come and talk his shit, and we did not say a word. That's what we fumbled. That's where we fumbled. We let that man put the narrative out there that he wanted to put out there, and by us not saying a word, we fumbled. That's what we fumbled. We ain't fumbled the bag. Because like you said, it was no bag that we could keep that man, you know what I'm saying? But where we did fumble is not letting the truth ring out and trying to be, you know, we was on our Michelle Obama shit, you know what I'm saying? Hey, well, they go low, whatever, you know, all that. Nah, we should have been putting out statements. Time he said all that bull that he said, we should have been like, no, we paid that man everything we owed him. No, nobody ever stole his stuff. He got it back. He did not pay for our freaking facility. It was already in the play. We should have just been shutting all that down. Time he was putting his little narrative out there. But the reason why I say we fumbled the bag is because Dion has been a staple in the black culture for a long time. And this was the first time that he ever had any pushback in his whole life from black people. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't know how to handle it. So that's where we fumbled. We fumbled by not keeping our narrative straight. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say we fumbled, man, because now everything that he did do for us, I feel like is 10 steps back, you know. But hey, that's y'all boy. It is what it is.
Let me ask you a question though, T. Is it possible to correct a narrative once it goes online? Like, how do you fight internet trolls? How do you do that?
I don't think it's more so creating a narrative other than but being transparent. Like he's saying this is actually what took place.
Yeah, like we sat on it for like 2 months or so and let it just gain legs, let it gain this, you know what I'm saying, without having an official statement or without it even.
So you're saying Jackson State should have maybe showed some receipts, like, no, these plans were signed, stamped, and delivered.
They put out an official statement like all contract, whatever was paid,
right.
But it came too late. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't stand on nothing. We just let them run with a false narrative.
Yeah, but even if you put that out, the internet ain't gonna believe it anyway. Man, of course they gonna say that.
You gotta put it out though,
if
because
we would have put it out the first day it came out. Next day,
we should have stood firm on it and refuted it. I gotta tell a quick story because I just took a flight. The flight attendant on my airplane was spewing that same false rhetoric that was generated by the man with the big microphone, and that she said that Prime paid JSU a lot of money. Those her words that he paid us so much money, and it's just false. When he was the employee and he was the highest paid FCS coach, you know, last year he had all these extra stipulations in his contract where he was making a lot of money, and he was taking credit for a lot of stuff. He had his big microphone, and he was putting out the story that he wanted to put out. And like T was saying, Jackson State was kind of taking the high road. I guess you would call it the high road, but they were just quiet on it. They were quiet.
The high road.
He say whatever he want to say, and Jackson State was silent.
And I'm gonna go.
And one more thing to clarify: when we talk about fumbling the bag, Deion Sanders is not the bag. He is not more valuable than Jackson State or what we had going on our football team, our school, none of that. So when other people say we fumbled the bag, they probably think we fumbled not having Prime at Jackson State, but we, you know, us being alumni at Jackson State and being in the culture, we already know the show go on, and he is not more valuable than what we got going on over here.
Yeah. And also, people talking like 300,000, not a lot of money. Like, how many people, black men, you know, making 300,000, 100,000?
Base salary.
Right, base salary. Most of these people, baby daddy, don't make 50,000. So you're talking about, you know what? Let me stop. Go ahead, Crow.
Fumble the bag. I know you all touched on the money part. You all touched on all of that. I'm gonna say we fumbled the bag as fans of Jackson State, and the reason why is because we put this man on a high pedestal. So we fumbled our feelings, we fumbled our emotions, we fumbled all of that because he's a coach at the end of the day. He's coming in to coach. You know, it's just like when that new pastor come in, a new president come in, new mayor, anybody, they're going to sell you all this hope, these dreams. And if you invest all your feelings, emotions into this, you're going to feel like you lost a lot. And so that's why everybody using that word fumble the bag. I'm going to be honest. I'm one of them ones who don't think we fumbled anything because I don't feel like, honestly, we invested anything because Jackson State was already a brand within itself. So how could we fumble something when we already was carrying that ball? Nobody knocked it out of our hands. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, I think we just need to change our language and the narrative. I'm with T on we should have responded to things faster. As far as building up and trying to market off Prime, once again, D.I. Love is his own brand. You know, we could have took those winning season and those games and built marketing tools off those and the players that we had in that moment. You know, we could have done that. You got to think about it. NFL teams, NBA teams, they have franchise players and so forth, so on. While they're wearing that jersey, that's when you take care of that marketing part of it, you know, because they're now belonging to JSU while they're under that helmet, while they have that jersey on, while he has that shirt on. You know what I'm saying? You can cut his head off, and you know you can splash some across the top of it. But you know, those are ways I get where you was going, John, where we can build. But I think we, as fans, as alumni, period, fumble by investing too much when he drove that car in, when he hopped out that car, when he walked up to that podium. We all was in ah and ooh. And then at the end of the day, when he came and popped our little balloon, I tipped over our ice cream in our hand by saying he leaving early. Right. And everybody was like, oh, Jackson State, how did you let this happen? When we was already who we were. We got to recognize that, and we got to continue to show the world we didn't fumble anything. If anything, everybody gained something Jackson State enhanced itself. Deion enhanced himself. And that's how it should be stated and understood.
Bro, we was in the stands with Harold Jackson. We was in the stands with Hughes. We was in the stands with these losing coaches. Of course, we're gonna be in the stands with Deion Sanders. But before T get to his point, he said he disagreed. I'm gonna get to you in a second. Jay Ward said, I do think we should have raised ticket prices. I'm gonna slightly disagree. You still got to think about your fan base and who coming to the games. We can't afford to raise our tickets to $50 some and people come to the games. Fifi said we would have knocked his daughter out. If she would have came to Jackson State, we probably would have knocked her out. Tina said she didn't acknowledge that man at all. Miggy with his trash ass said he wasn't just a coach to us. He represented us trying to build us up to be on the same level as these PWIs. He could have been a movie. Now that I do agree. He would have been there long enough. He could have been a movie. And Leonard said you have to create job opportunities. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Yeah, I guess he's saying Jackson State could have continued to maybe try to grow and expand while he was there. And that's I'm taking a guess on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, tell Leonard to explain in the chat.
Expound on it a little bit more.
We'll move on to this.
But now, what I was saying I disagree with was that Jackson State game. I gotta be careful with this. I feel like I wish he would have never came at all. Honestly, that's my honest opinion. I feel like I said, he did all this good stuff for us, supposedly, which he did for himself. Let's just be honest. He did that for himself to elevate himself. He used elevate at the end, saying he's leaving because he's elevating. But he talked all of this stuff about, what he wanted to do for black people in the community and all this stuff. Just a whole bunch of cap, but cool.
But T, let me say
no, dig it along. But the cap part is, like I said, every 2 steps, we got 2 steps, we got 10 steps back. Because if he really cared about Jackson State, he would have not let the narrative go on where they was attacking our character like that. And that's how I know he never cared about Jackson State. Think about this. We had the official day of giving from the university. Mm-hmm. He did not say one word about like this is not, a tweet or whatever. This is the official day of giving for Jackson State University. Didn't say a word. So that should let you know that he was never really
true
in it, like talking about, you know what I'm saying? So, and then you got to think about this. Every time I'm going on a job interview, my resume says Jackson State University. You know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about these people that's going out in the world with Jackson State on their resume, and you got the others talking about, that's them people that stole from Deion. They stole that. They not forward thinking. They some little country people down there in Mississippi, and like, bro, no.
Good point, too.
Yeah, that's not caring for your people. You know what I'm saying? So I can't respect it, bro. It is what
all right.
It is.
Can I chime in now, T?
Go ahead, my brother.
All right. So let's look at this from a relationship standpoint. I don't care who the man or woman, I don't care who the man, woman, for whatever you believe in out there in this world. We just gonna look at it from a relationship standpoint real fast. Jackson State is somebody, Deion is somebody. Somehow they were destined to meet. They met, they got in this relationship. Once again, we see somebody, whether it's they look good, we heard something they say and they sound intellectual. But hey, Jackson State was attracted to Deion. Deion was attracted to Jackson State. Both of them saw opportunity. You get what I'm saying? Yes. Yeah, I see you, Swift. But hey,
I'm gonna come back to you. Go ahead.
All right. So even in relationships, you see whoever you see, and you like, oh wow, that person is amazing. Or that person sounds smart, intellectual. So y'all attract each other. Y'all start off in this relationship. Now it's up to each person to communicate, check in. Like you said, Jackson State should have said something when one person was putting out there. But once again, this is a relationship. Sometimes in relationship, one of the spouses don't say none when somebody is being loud all out there on the internet, blah, 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 blah. Y'all have to look at that like this. This is a relationship. Now, when Dion left out the relationship, because y'all know it's some horrible breakups out there. You got Team Dion, you got Team Jackson State. And the truth is in the middle that we don't know about on the Dion, and the A&D truly know about it. We all out here assuming and believing what we supposedly heard or truly saw in a way. So don't get me wrong. It's a lot of people hurt by Dion leaving, but you got to remember, this is a relationship. You got to check those emotions and understand things are going to end and leave sooner or later. And the question is, what did you learn from that in that process? Did you grow from that in that process? We have to grow and continue on now past this process. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be hurtful to say. A lot of people sound like scorned lovers because this relationship did not go the way y'all wanted it to go. Because he, like I think you all alluded to in the beginning, y'all was hoping for this 4-year relationship, this blah 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 relationship, and it only happened and he quickly ended. Now, hey, just because he left for the rich, particularly white girl in this situation, hey, can you be mad? Right. Then once again, this is a relationship. You all have to understand this. But all right, I'm gonna fall back.
That boy Crowley done.
Hold on, T.
That boy Crowley on another level. This shit, ain't it?
So Paul say this was a relationship and we were attracted to each other. But the thing is, Jackson State was that black muscular motherfucker on the yard who everybody wanted. And Dion was that ugly motherfucker that was smart as hell that nobody gave a chance. Nobody. He would not be in this relationship now if Jackson State did not give him a chance. Say, you know what? You not like everybody else. You have no experience. You a virgin. I'm going to take a chance on you. And we started showing him off. And what happened? He left us for the white chick. And ain't said nothing else since he left. So now, Crow.
I wouldn't even say he haven't said nothing else. It's every time he opens his mouth, he does it in a way in which it's disparaging to his own relationship, either through action or inaction, because he might not say anything, but then, like you said, he doesn't speak up when bad things are being said. Now, Crow touched on this when he was going, where he said, well, you know, sometimes in relationship, one person may not be on the internet taking up for the other person or whatever. But y'all got to remember, I was there when Dion used to say bad shit about Jackson State his damn self, you know. He'd come out of interviews and talk about, you know, he talked about stealing. He talked about how he wasn't getting paid when he was supposed to get paid. The time he was saying, well, man, I'm checking the receipts and, you know, the stadium looked full, but the darn receipt show, you know, so he was airing out dirty laundry to the public even while he was here. So he damn sure ain't coming to our defense now that he's gone.
That wasn't about us. Fix that.
Well, we're gonna switch. I'm gonna ask this question. We're gonna transition to the next topic.
That was hypothetical. That was a hypothetical topic that he said.
But I'm saying it was still disparaging in the sense that he didn't shine a positive light on Jackson State.
But you're doing what they're doing. He said some hypothetical stuff and they took it as facts. Y'all stealing that man money.
But Fifi said, if he said he wants to come back to Jackson State, do you think JSU alumni and fans will welcome him back? What y'all think? So before we transition to the next topic.
Probably not.
I'm gonna say you can't have the scorned lover syndrome, man. You speak, you know, and you be cordial. You don't have to show any disdain. You know what I'm saying? You acting like the hurt baby mama, baby father out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? You can speak. It's okay to speak. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to see how somebody doing. It's okay. I ain't saying you gotta open the door and super be welcoming. But if he was to arrive back on campus, let's be honest, the man was able to, you know what I'm saying, win games, produce how we asked him to produce. So why would we, you know what I'm saying, at the same time not at least show some type of love for him?
It's the only thing. It's the only problem I got with that, Crowley. I agree. I would have agreed with you had Prime had a clean exit.
This man left right out the sweat.
Had he had
What relationship ends perfect all the time?
Okay.
Y'all looking for this? Y'all looking
It
for?
could have been an amicable split.
Okay,
It could have been an amicable split.
Let's give him a little grace and forgiveness and say the SWAC championship thing was a mistake and it wasn't a clean exit.
I'm not giving no grace.
After the
Okay, let me ask y'all this.
even
How many of y'all know y'all? Let me ask you this. Y'all know people who have started relationships while still being in relationships that's about to quote unquote end.
Hey, them timelines be overlapping.
Thank you. Thank you. I said what I said.
Hey, but
y'all sitting here talking about he signed a contract and jumped on. I told y'all this is a relationship.
This is my main point. This is my main point on that thing is he has not been talking kind about us and he has not been doing right by us since he left. It wasn't a clean break. And even now, most recently, how Jackson has been shining in a negative light on this 60 Minutes thing that I never watched. But ever since he's been gone, some kind of way, we keep popping up in his mouth and we keep popping up in the mentions, and it's usually in a negative light.
Yeah. Half of y'all will take some of y'all exes back that's watching and looking. So hey, y'all stop capping. Look, Mike, you gonna make me go get a half for every time somebody cap. Half of them went back to a whole bunch of bad stuff, so they know they'll go back.
I would take my exes back, but me and all my exes ended on good terms. So let's transition to the next topic.
One time for Shiloh.
Oh yeah, we can come back. We love Shiloh.
Yeah, one time for Shiloh, man.
So we see what he's doing in Colorado, right?
Should do okay, you know what I'm saying? No shade to Shador, you know what I'm saying? We love him too. But yeah, one time for Shiloh though.
We see what he's doing in Colorado, right? When he got there, he had all the artists on the sidelines. He had Lil Wayne bringing the team out, just bringing this black feeling, not HBCU culture, but this black feel to the football team. And now people are saying Colorado is like, what they say, the BET Awards and Ricky Smiley talking about, is it a HBCU? I got that clip too. Let me see if I can play that. Hold on, y'all.
Yeah, he basically said that he didn't turn Colorado to an HBCU. Total disrespectful for a man who actually graduated from an HBCU, by the way.
I'm gonna see if I can play it.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too.
Bring it back.
Every single recruit,
come on, dog,
want to go play for Colorado.
Come on, dog.
Yeah, my great grandma wrote a letter trying to go to Colorado. She couldn't enroll back in school. I said, you can't be on the football team. She just want to go be a student.
Man,
and she's 98.
He ain't gonna have to worry about nothing.
To turn Colorado into a damn HBCU. Okay. Now all the white
bands are playing
HBCU
music.
White people out there talking about boom.
Yes, sir.
Boom.
Yeah.
White people are on beat in Colorado.
I love it.
Ain't nobody double clapping. Ain't nobody clapping on the upbeat. White people is in rhythm and everything in Colorado.
And he challenging the band director at Colorado to make sure that the drum majors are doing the HBCU drum majors. Come on, dog.
They need to do it. They stiff. They ain't pointing, picking their legs up, pointing their toes.
Yes, sir.
None of that stuff. Or whatever. And the majorettes got to get on point. They got to go get them some BBL. All of them booty flat as a credit card.
Okay, the BBL one was funny. But what the fuck is going on? Mama, if I cuss, I'm sorry. Hope my mama not watching.
I'll call and see.
I ain't moving on the wild. Crow got me messed up. Crow got me.
Hey.
What is going on? 2%, less than 2%. Okay. How do y'all feel? How do y'all feel about these comments? Graduating from a historically black college and university, knowing everything that we went through, knowing we probably would get denied and when we was applying to those schools, when we applied to Jackson State. How do y'all feel about these comments?
Man, one, I think that let's not even talk about the others. Let's talk about black people, us. We so backwards, man. Like Jackson State, I want to say this. When you think about HBCU, we are not your HBCU. Let's get that right. We not that HBCU that you grew up 10 miles from your house that only have 2,000 people or only have, a few hundred people at a football game, or not accredited and all that. Like, let's just be
Can
real.
you clarify that? What you're trying to say with we're not your HBCU?
We not your HBCU. I'm just saying, we not. This is the sweat. This is the real deal. HBCU. We got 30,000 in the stands every week before prime. You know what I'm saying? So let's just get that right. So when they're in the media talking about, oh, HBCUs be stealing money, or HBCUs, they don't want to get right, or they don't want to do. They're thinking about their HBCU. I'm not going to name the HBCUs, but y'all know who I'm talking about. They not Jackson State. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? No. Even them folks in Florida, that team that I ain't going to say their name, they're not that team either. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be honest. So they got to get this shit together. I'm just saying, bro. For real. So they're like, oh, let them take the culture to Colorado. You can't duplicate the culture. It is what it is. And then why would you want to do that at a place that's 2% black? 2%.
You know why? Because they love the culture. They love the culture, but they don't love us.
You the circus.
Shout out to one of my favorite battle rappers, Averb. He had a bar in his last battle that basically said, we the talent, they just learned how to monetize it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I see happening in Colorado. We've always been the talent. Our culture has always been something that they wanted. Black people drive society right now. If something doesn't become popular until black people get behind it. Once black people get behind it, it takes off. So our culture has always been envied and imitated. We drive a whole lot of stuff. So in this particular case, what I see going on in Colorado, and it's very disappointing, is we have a lot of cultural vultures right now. Whether they really fuck with us or not, what they really know is that this is the cash cow in the moment. And so they're pushing all their resources by it because, man, all you got to do is mention Dion. All you got to do is mention Colorado. You're going to get clicks. You're going to get likes. I've seen so many comedians and stuff like that who just basically are, people like, what's my guy name who imitates Dion all the time? I'm following him. Help me out here.
I don't know.
You're probably the only person that's watching him on this show.
All right. But he imitates Dion all the time. But my point is that once you mention Dion, once you mention Colorado, you're going to get clicks, you're going to get likes, you're going to get attention. And I think right now that's what's going on. And it's disappointing that we couldn't get that same motive, that same energy, that same machine pushed behind Jackson State. Now, on the surface, I'm gonna give other black folks the benefit of the doubt, because a lot of black folks didn't go to Jackson State. And so if you was hating on JSU, it's probably because you went to Alcorns, probably because you went to Southern, probably because you went to NCAT, FAMU, so on and so forth. So you might not be rooting for Prime to be successful at Jackson State because it's against your rooting interest as a rival school. So most of the people that we associate with, most of the people that's in our circle, they are also graduates of HBCU. So of course they don't want to see Jackson State win because it will be a direct conflict to their rooting interest. But for the other people who went to the Ole Misses and the Mississippi States and the Alabamas and the Georgias and whoever else, what's your excuse? Why all of a sudden you can cheer for Dion at Colorado, but you couldn't cheer for him at Jackson State? That's what's disappointing to me.
And before somebody else chime in, we can go ahead and put this one in here too. Why didn't JSU receive the same level of support while Prime was there as Prime is receiving in Colorado now? Because like you say, I see people that I know never stepped foot on a college campus talking about now they bandwagon Colorado.
Can I speak on that?
Go ahead, bro.
You all have to think about what people already think about Mississippi in general. Then you have to think about what people think about Jackson in general. And then the narrative that was put out there, because don't forget, I'm kind of using the correlating the two with a relationship. If your spouse is putting something bad out here about you, who else really trying to talk to you? Who else trying to come see about you? So once you look at that, just like you got to think about what Warren Sapp said before, right? What his way of thinking is what a lot of people think outside of the state of Mississippi. So you have artists who come here, and then you have to think about it too. You have who was the artist who came here and said their car got broken into, and then they put it all out there on social media. I can't remember who it was, but it was before Dion, came. So when you have this narrative about the state, when you have this narrative about the city, and this way of thinking, shoot, you have even on Jacksonians talking down on Jackson. You will see them, and yes, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about y'all on Facebook. Those who move to quote unquote Texas and Atlanta, you see why I don't come back, this, that, and the other. But what are you investing into the city? That way we can continue to grow. What are you investing into the university? Are you buying the dilapidated houses around the university so we can create more housing and more opportunities for individuals? So once again, you got to think about the narratives that's already created for the state and the city, and what we push out there our own selves, because we hurt our own selves with the negativity that we speak about the city and the state on these.
Go ahead,
Mike. Before you go, Mike, I want to include this too, because Alicia put so many people think that white man's ice is colder, and there's this misconception about Mississippi and everything else. But you know what you get when it comes to Mississippi. Dion went to Boulder, Colorado, and they spray painted nigger on his car. Like, and you got people.
I ain't heard that.
You acting like the media on Jackson State. Now, Swill, come on now.
I ain't heard that shit. If something like that happened, I think it'll make some news about it.
Clickbait.
Okay, I put it out there.
We're controlling the narrative.
No, it's out there. And also, you got faculty members that are being pushed out, African American and other ethnicity faculty members being pushed out. There's a lot of racist stuff going on.
Nah, I have heard about that though. That much I have heard.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, it was a pushback on what Crow was saying, because my simple question is almost like how Big Worm said to Smokey, I know what the fuck that got to do with me. So it's like Crow saying, well, they got this negative connotation about Jackson. Man, what does that got to do with someone says, hey, I support Prime at Jackson State. I'm a bandwagon Jackson State fan. Like, the conditions of Jackson, Mississippi ain't got nothing to do with you posting, of Jackson State.
Go back and look at Instagram. You had artists supporting him via Instagrams and a TikTok, but they wasn't stepping foot like they stepping foot in Colorado. You get what I'm saying? I'm
gonna disagree with that. I mean, we did have some artists come, but I don't think that Jackson being a rough area will prevent an artist from coming to a game. Like, come on, man. Like, ain't nothing gonna happen to you. You supposed to be a thug. You supposed to be a gangster. You supposed to be all this and that. You afraid to come to Jackson, Mississippi? That what you telling me?
But back to the original question, Mike. Do you think it's disrespectful? They talking about how Colorado now is an HBCU.
Absolutely. Yes, it's disrespectful. Like, and then, like I said, considering that a lot of everything that I am seeing is coming from people who actually did attend HBCUs, or it's coming from people, man, think about how marginalized you probably felt on the campus of like a Ole Miss or something like that, or just any of these other schools where you might have only been a select handful of people. There was a small percentage of people that actually looked like you, and how you probably felt on that campus. Why would you sit here and try to make this seem like this is the America's black college, when it's 2% black? Yeah, it might feel comfortable for the football players, and that's only because they winning. Because the moment they start losing, they no longer become America's black college team. They become the niggas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The same way it happened at Alabama, it's happened at Ohio State, it happened at Oklahoma. Hell, even in the NFL, Madison for the Minnesota Vikings, he had a bad game last week, and he got racist threats. Man, we only as good to them folks when we can do something for them. When we can win for them, when we can bring money to them, we they niggas. You know what I'm saying? And then when we can't, we just a nigga. So that is disrespectful to sit here and try to assimilate our culture and put it on the campus of Colorado and say that this is America's HBCU when we got real HBCUs out here that need your support. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some fuck shit. It's really boils down to. And anybody who supports some stuff like that, I can't even rock with. And it ain't got nothing to do with the fact that I hate Dion or anything like that. I just think that as people, we We backwards, as T said earlier. We backwards as hell.
Now, I agree with you on that, Mike. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying a narrative. Because once again, you have to think about, and I'm just using what Warren Sapp said, the way his thought process. He's not the only person thinking that about Mississippi or Jackson as a whole.
Wasn't he supposed to be trying to coach here or something like that, though? I mean, I can see if you want somebody to stay.
That was
somebody said
rumor.
And when the rumor came out, he started talking
down
on Jackson.
Hey,
Again, if you want somebody to stay, hey, you have to live here, coach here, whatever. I get that. This ain't, hey man, you got to live here in order to support the what Deion is doing at Jackson State. Man, you can come to a game. You ain't got to live here to come to a game and say, hey man, I want everybody to do what Deion is doing. I want everybody to start supporting not only Jackson State, but HBCU culture as a whole. Let's actually take this movement that Deion started and let's do something with it. It wasn't just Deion that I'm mad at, is because even though Deion sold us that bullshit, I'm mad that everybody else didn't pick it up and run with it the way they're running with it at Colorado.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
This is what come to my mind, and I don't know how to quite to put it into words, but when we talk about black people in the culture, I'm thinking about people like us. I'm thinking about typically people from the deep South, but it could be from other places too. But they come from a similar place and got a similar mindset. I don't know how to put it in words, but when you go on a job and it could be another black person on the job, but they might be from California or something, and you could look at them and be like, they black, but they ain't really, black, and I think this is what a lot of people are who are supporting Prime and Colorado and calling Colorado in the HBCU. So I don't think there's anything wrong with supporting Prime and supporting the players and supporting the team, but it's a lot of black people out there. There's
go ahead.
They black, but they ain't black either.
So basically, what y'all saying is Deion did what Ice-T did.
So y'all drinking the Kool-Aid too, basically. Y'all drinking that Deion Kool-Aid too.
Nah.
Okay.
No.
I ain't
Think
about
this.
Coco.
And I just said, think about why on his first press conference he bring up, hey, I'm a black coach. They underestimated me because he trying to get us behind him. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. The man is a master media manipulator. You know what I'm saying? So he just playing his on the strings. Man, they doubted me. Whatever. I'm just trying to elevate to the next level so I could bring more black coaches and show. Bro, you are Deion Sanders. You're not a black coach, bro. You are Deion. Same way Beyonce is Beyonce. The same way Lil Wayne is Lil Wayne.
One of
you know
one.
What I'm saying? Like, bro, you're not elevating no black coach behind you. Nobody is gonna be like, oh, let's hire more black coach because Deion did something. No, bro. You Deion fucking Sanders, dog.
I agree with that, T.
Colorado saw that man as an investment and knew that he could bring in money. They didn't even have the money to pay the man when they hired him. They knew they would get the money from somewhere.
But if Jack State would have said that, we would have been every word in the book.
Bro, if Jackson State would have said, we don't have the money to pay this salary, but we'll get it from ticket sales or something like that, we would, what? Been so many HBCU articles out there about what the hell is Jackson, the leader. A.D. Robertson would have got fired. Like, you don't do nothing like that. And also,
but if he would have put the work in, we could have paid him more than $5 million a year. If he put the work in.
I don't think we could have paid him $5 million, but he would have been the highest paid. Well, he was already one of the two. I think Gill was like the highest paid.
We could have paid him.
He was already the second highest paid.
We could have paid him $5
coach
million. If he would have put in the work, but that takes dedication to do that. But we could have paid him $5 million.
Hey, if he
in a couple of years, we could have went to a bowl game or something and got that bread.
Deion would have been putting work in for himself, not for Jackson State to pay.
Yeah, and we've already established that.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. We knew Deion was doing this stuff for himself, but we did profit, like Crowley was saying. We wanted winning seasons, we wanted swag championships, and he provided that to us, and that was good. But if he would have put the work in, like he was talking about putting the work in, then the money would have flowed to Jackson State instead of flowing this money to Colorado.
And like Quartrice has stated. He used us for a stepping stool. No other school is going to give you a head coach. No other FCS or FBS school is going to give a regular person a head coaching job with no coaching experience at all on the collegiate level. And there's this misconception. There's this misconception that all head coaches do is coach. You got to make sure your students are academically eligible to play. You got to go through budgets. You got to schedule games. It is a lot to go. It is a lot dealing with head coaching other than just coaching a football team. And I think people, especially our people, are ignorant to that fact. You are not just coaching. Running an FCS or FBS program takes a lot of work. But he would not have gotten where he is if it was not for us. Point blank period. And
it wasn't even just about the fact that he had zero college coaching experience. Didn't he not have a degree? And we did something to, finagle him in the doorway anyway. Because that's a requirement too.
Yeah, he got it from Talladega. It was an online degree or something from Talladega. He went and graduated. Now he's trying to use this. Oh, I'm an HBCU graduate, so my actions were the hell out of here. I ain't gonna cuss too much. My mama watching now. But final thoughts. Hold on. Everybody talk on this topic.
Yeah.
So final thoughts about Deion. Where do you think we go from here? Jackson State as a brand, as a football team, as a culture. Where do we go from here? Because we're going to receive backlash moving forward. People are going to attach us negatively to Prime moving forward. Where do we go from here?
I think that's only going to last maybe another season, though, to be honest. I think Jackson State being mentioned every time Deion is mentioned and vice versa is only because it's new. It's the very first season. It's the inaugural season after his departure. So, of course, every time they're, even on broadcast, they say, Deion left Jackson State, da-da-da-da-da. So our name gets mentioned every time, on the broadcast, they talk about Deion and his coaching. I think that after maybe a full season, they'll no longer bring up Jackson State once we're a season removed. So I think from that side of things, we will no longer have to be attached to Deion on the national level after about maybe a season. Now, locally or internally, I should say, I think that, man, people gonna continue to be on our ass as long as we lose. If we can win, we ain't gonna hear nothing else about Deion. If we can maintain that same level of success, we're not going to hear Deion's name. The reason people are gonna bring our name up or his name up is, oh, Daddy gone now, y'all can't win. Or whatever they call them, you know what I'm saying? Like, your golden goose is gone, now y'all can't win. If TC can deliver winning seasons, we can continue to dominate the SWAC. I guarantee Deion won't get brought up. He's being brought up now because they can throw him in our face and say, aha, y'all ain't got Deion no more, now y'all losing.
Right. We gotta win Celebration Bowl, man. Real talk.
Do y'all think we're gonna get to the Celebration Bowl this year? Because it's looking to.
I'm still holding out hope, man. I'm still holding out hope.
Hey, like, I think we're gonna get. I think we'll get back to prominence, but that FAMU loss really hurt us. It set us back a lot. So we got a lot of.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Honestly, Deion is where he's at. We're doing what we need to do. And I keep going back. I know Mike went on and said it's a partnership. Hey, a partnership is still a relationship. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So you have to allow him to move on. Sometimes people gonna mention your name with your ex. You happen. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do us. Once again, we gotta focus on continuing to win, continuing to uplift our school name, continuing to uplift HBCUs, and then also make sure we state the fact that there is nothing outside of a HBCU like a HBCU, at the end of the day. And we have to work on changing that narrative, as I say. We can't continue to expect outsiders to have respect when we don't respect HBCUs or our own schools within themselves, even the areas that house them. So we have to put that energy out there. The energy, Deion is one person in creating all this energy. You can't tell me all us HBCU graduates can't create this magnitude of energy. But no, we don't support each other. You know, we truly don't. You know, we're half-ass support. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. We're half-ass support, but you have numerous HBCU graduates who are doing great and wonderful things. Ask me how many true HBCU individuals are truly supporting them. And we have millions of graduates. But once again, we have that energy ourselves to create and change this narrative. For every platform, like we have a platform right here, we need to be screaming HBCU. We need to be bigging up the HBCU, just as every other brand there is. I don't care if you got a lipstick brand out there, you need to have a HBCU line. I don't care if you have a liquor brand out there, you need to have a HBCU something going. If you are African American, this is how we big and change that narrative. We have to be positive about it and put that energy out there.
And that's another topic for another day. Like somehow, some way, I don't know how it happened. We only attach success to what 3 major areas: what social media, music, and
athletics.
Athletics. That's pretty much it.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. I don't know how the hell Sexy Red got famous.
Because once again,
it's been that way for generations.
That's the energy that's out there right now. No, and that's the energy. We are allowing that energy to take over when we don't speak up. Yeah,
no question, we are.
Yeah, and when we don't speak up and it's allowed, then it's gonna continue to grow. And then once again, we're gonna be like, oh, how did we get here? How did this happen? Once again,
man, it's been this way for 30 years, man. Either you got to sell rocks or have a jump shot. They've been saying that, 30 years from now. I mean, 30 years ago. So it ain't like we just now starting to only celebrate athletes and drug dealers and whatever. Like, it's been that way, man, since the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. Real quick, what you think? Where we go?
Where do we go from here is basically we need to control our own narrative. That's the only thing that matters. We need our PR team. Our media team has been doing better this year as far as social media goes and highlighting stuff, but we need our own narrative. We need our PR team to be like the girl on Scandal, the TV show. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to put some money behind controlling what we put out to the masses. I don't care if we have to get a budget where we pay Shade Room, Spiritual World to show people graduating and walking across the stage. I don't care. Do that. That's what we need to do. Everything else is null and void. Because if we keep letting people control our image, we will never get to where we need to be. That's it.
And Joey, wrap us up on this topic. And Dion, what do you think? What would you go for?
Same thing. I agree with what T said, man. We just gotta we need to do us. We need to do us.
All right, so that I think we all in consensus about this. I wish we could have had some Dion sympathizers on here to give us a little difference of opinion, but it is what it is.
We had a couple, but yeah.
To wrap this up for tonight, because we are all brothers of Alpha Beta, right? Mm-hmm. And I love y'all, right? We all brothers of Alpha Beta. We all pledged. We all did what we need to do. And we are all still brothers.
I didn't pledge. No, I don't know nothing.
What the hell ever you pledged. And we are still brothers of Alpha Beta. But we have individuals in the Greek world who join Greek letter organizations. And then 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, they denounce. They say, you know what? For whatever reason, they denounce. And this post went viral on Facebook. I would not bring this up, but it went viral on Facebook. And she also is a graduate of Jackson State University. And I know y'all saw it. If y'all didn't see it, I can post it right now.
Nah, I see it.
In the comments, let me know if y'all saw it. If y'all hadn't seen it, I'll post it. I'll show the post. I hope I don't get sued for it.
Don't show the post, girl.
Don't show the post. Okay. I think we got it. Well, what y'all think, right? Is it genuine, or like why would you post that on Facebook? Just be in her shoes, right? How you denounce when you're bad. Put yourself in her
I'm part of the crew that say a denouncement does not require an announcement. And I know people got different journeys. I can't say that these people who do this, maybe this is what they feel they need to do for their spiritual journey. Maybe so. I still don't think that it requires an announcement. And I know she in the post she mentioned that she went publicly when she probated and all that kind of stuff. Hey, in the probate days, they ain't had social media. Hey, if you want to go out on the plaza right now and say you denounce, then hey, go out there with your line of one and say you denounce. You ain't got to post it.
Okay. Anybody else? Mike, what you think?
Man, I'm gonna be even harsher than John P. Man, folks do anything for clout. That's really what it all boils down to. Folks do anything for clout. It's become trendy now to do it, and so people are doing it because it's trendy. Man, like I saw now one post I did see that's been getting shared that I thought was funny. Like, man, you got to be really audacious to denounce some shit and you paper. I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but it was something to that sentiment. Like, man, you gotta be phone as hell to denounce some shit you paper on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what it boils down to. And again, we've used the word disrespect a lot in a lot of conversations tonight. I really find it disrespectful though to the people in these organizations who a lot of them are Christian-based organizations. Like a lot of their principles, a lot of their ideals and their values are Christian-based values. And for people to keep associating it with like devil worshiping or some shit like that, like, hey, I can't be a Christian and be Greek. Like that don't even make sense to me. Especially like I said, you didn't go through my ritual. You don't know what we did. So and for the fact that you went through your own ritual, why are you giving it this kind of energy? Like it's some sort of it's pushing you away from God. You know what I'm saying? So you're putting that narrative out there because most of the time when I see these denouncements, it's I'm trying to grow my spiritual relationship with God. So you can't be part of a social organization and be close to God. That don't even make. All right, it's a lot of folks, man, who just can't walk and chew gum and they want to get likes. That's my take on it.
Here goes Swift loading up some.
That's the one. Yeah. That shit wild though. Like that is crazy. Like, baby, you was paper anyway. You didn't have to do all that.
Yeah, man. Hey, bro. I'm really just confused by all of it for real because I don't see why you have to make that announcement, bro. Like God know your heart. So if you ain't in it no more, you know what I'm saying? You are not in it. God knows your heart, bro. God knows where you stand. So all that denouncing, I feel like Mike and them and John P said, y'all just trying to get some clout. Y'all just trying to get some attention. And maybe you denouncing because it didn't do what you thought it was going to do. You didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm going to join this Greek letter organization and I'm going to be popular or I'm going to have sisters or brothers, you know what I'm saying? And then, but you're a shitty person and you don't get what come with the Greek organization because you aren't a good person.
Or she got all the benefits from it, and now she's like, "Why am I still an AKA?"
You know what I'm saying? So that's like, I just don't agree with it, man. I mean, like somebody else said, most of our organizations are Christian based. You know what I'm saying? One of our founders is a preacher. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I think we innocent, man. We, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got nothing to do with that. We gonna let them handle their own business over there. And hey, I'm rolling with AB, bro.
Crow, go on this wrap us up.
All right. First off, I want to correct her terminology when it was posted out there denouncing. If you're denouncing something, that means you're attacking something. Renouncing should be the correct word first off. you know, if you're going to be, you know, politically correct when you're putting that type of information out there. All right. Second off, once again, we as people love to say God led us, quote unquote, Dion. You get what I'm saying? And we love to put it out there, and we know people gonna buy into it. It's just some with us when we hear God led us. God told me to, you know. But I am not one to refute what God is telling a person individually. I'm gonna say that now. Your walk is your walk. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the same time, we're talking about anything that you do, whether you're purchasing a lot of clothes, a lot of food, joining a Greek organization. If you're putting that over your higher power, whoever your higher power is, or if you're choosing to go to parties and missing church or whatever on Sunday, or choosing to go to that party on Saturday, if you're a 7-day Adventist, whatever your religion is, and it's interfering with the way you praise, then yes, you are putting that over. So some people put materialistic things over certain things. Some people put money over certain things. So if you have allowed those things to interfere with your personal praise, your personal relationship, then that's not on the organization. That's not on the material things. That's not on the money. That's on your thoughts, what you choose to, how you chose to operate within those two lines. So once again, I know, and just speaking from my process, my chapter, my organization, because once again, I went through it. You know, my DP had us in church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Every Sunday. Rod was our DP. My line brother on here, he can truly say that.
No, mine had us in church.
I'm just saying we was in church every Sunday. Every Sunday. We were doing community service. And then I'm gonna go a little quick deeper. So our principles, brotherhood. So let's think about it. The Bible talks about what? Making sure we look out for our brother, be our brother's keeper, right? So then we go to scholarship. That's learning, knowledge, wisdom, whether you're constantly learning in the Bible, whether you're constantly reading books out here to gain knowledge. Then we're going to talk about the service. So what? We're out here being what God wants us to be. We're out here helping people. We're out here in these streets. We're out here in the church building it up. You know what I'm saying? We're in a community building it up. So
definitely in the streets.
Everybody's principles are somewhere. There's a foundation where it's related to the Bible, or God, or the higher power in which you connect to. So I'm not gonna say it's a cop-out, because I'm not saying, but once again, I'm gonna just say people choose to put things over God, over Jesus, over their religion, and then that's when they have to renounce what but then you don't have to go public with it, because once again, God says come to him. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be out there with it. It's a lot of people that are not active. And what I mean active, they're not out here on the internet saying, hey, I ain't active. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't gonna, hey, nope. Half of the people forget once you out of grad school that you didn't cross the pledge, whatever you done did. However, them two interchangeable. Some people cross, some people pledge, whatever. Some people join. But once again, you in your 40s and 50s, half of the people don't even, I go to jobs and people don't know I'm Greek until I put on a shirt or something. Once again, so at the end of the day, why am I renouncing something that half of the world, the people, you only see these people when you go to homecoming, this, that, and the other, and then only if you wearing Greek letters and posting pictures every day where people know that you Greek. Half of the people don't even know I'm Greek until I post something. They be like, dang, Crowley, you a Sigma? When you cross? Because once again, you hit it on the head. I crossed in 03. She crossed in 04. We didn't run in nobody's Facebook, IG, TikTok, none of that. We came out in the old gym.
Yes, sir.
Old gym, once again. And only the people who was there and who saw the VHS tapes of what family recorded it knew you were Greek.
VHS?
Case.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It was 20 years ago, baby. It was 20 years ago.
Hey, Crowley made a good point, too. you don't never see nobody denouncing or renouncing all the rest of the stuff they be doing, man. It just got denouncing and renouncing when it comes to this Greek stuff, which, like you said, Swift, is a trending topic right now.
Yeah, man.
They ain't gonna denounce or renounce being thoughts out here.
Right. I'm just saying, hey, denounce that train.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, hold on.
Hey,
Now.
hey,
We'll
T,
say
those
this.
on VHS.
I don't know. I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking about her.
Classmate.
I don't know her, bro. I promise. I'm not talking about her.
I'm true now. I'm true.
I'm not talking about her,
now,
bro. I don't know her.
Yeah. We ain't gonna go.
Boy,
we ain't gonna cut too deep.
It's our first day back, and y'all already gotta get his name.
Nah, hey, I'm gonna represent mine now.
But, like Crow said, we out here in these streets, and we gonna be in the streets during homecoming too. I hope I see y'all there. Oh, Lord. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this show. We had a good show tonight. We had a good conversation, good discussion, and it's a pleasure having everybody back.
Hey man, bring it back weekly or bi-weekly or something, man.
We'll see. We're gonna talk about in the chat, see what we can do. We're gonna talk about in the chat, see what we can do. But if y'all gonna renounce Greek, like my boy Crow and T said, renounce these trains, renounce being thoughts, renounce you know what I renounce? These student loans. That's what I renounce. I ain't paying not one damn student. But moving on. So let's go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. Joey, final thoughts for all the topics tonight.
Hey, I moved on from Prime already. I barely even talk about him. I support his sons. I support the players that's on the team, the former Jackson State players. I wish them well. I wish them to get that bag and succeed. I hope that they start shining Jackson in a better light. But I already know that that whole deal is the whole argument is 400 years old. But yeah, hey, stop making these announcements on these denouncements and renouncements, and that's it.
Mike.
Again, it's good to be back on the show. Glad that we have a space that we can, get our thoughts and points of views across on. So Swift, I encourage you. First of all, I want to congratulate you, man. Because this is your brainchild. I want to encourage you to keep going with this thing, man. Because I really feel like we can be doing a whole lot more with it. So I want to encourage you to keep it going. Secondly, we did a whole lot of talk on Deion tonight. Jackson State has our first home game tomorrow. I want everybody to come out and support Jackson State. Our chances of getting back to the championship is a little slim right now, but we definitely need everybody's support. So everybody come out. I think it's a red out, isn't it? So wear your red, and now let's cheer our boys on, man. See if we can turn this season around. And that's it. That's all I want to say.
I think this was actually John's brainchild. I just started the initiation during the pandemic.
Well, hey, big ups to both of y'all then.
Hey, maybe that was the idea when I was on some Don Julio or something.
Fifi, homecoming October 13th. T, final thoughts.
Yeah, man, like Mike said, bro. I mean, even if we don't have one viewer, dog, it's just good talking to y'all and getting this off, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't have that space as black men to do what we do, even though we were kind of light tonight, you know what I'm saying? But when we really be talking, we really get going. So, hey, man, I'm just happy to be back. One time for Shiloh, I don't have nothing to say about the coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm supporting my dog Shiloh, and I'm supporting Shador. You know what I'm saying? Because they had nothing but good stuff to say about Jackson State when they left. And everything that they said about Jackson State pretty much proved that they daddy was lying. But, nobody going to listen to that. It is what it is. And, if y'all want to renounce, man, renounce all that thought stuff y'all were doing on the yard in Alexander. On the 3rd and 4th floor, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all secrets, you know what I'm saying? Renounce that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Transition, y'all sneaking in there, coming out. I know. McAllister, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro.
We know we were there too.
Renounce it, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't renounce your Greek organization. Renounce what you were doing and dig them down.
Oh,
we couldn't even get that out. Oh, shit.
So they was throwing back and digging down. Okay.
Hey, fourth floor, baby. Never mind. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna incriminate myself. Pro.
As far as when it comes to Dion, I definitely think everybody needs to move on. Hey, whoever the culture vulture is gonna be, whoever gonna flock and follow that train, let them flock, hop on that bandwagon, keep it moving. We don't need to focus on no celebrity, no entertainer that ain't riding with us. You know what I'm saying? We ride with ourselves. We've been riding with ourselves. Those who love us, they love us. You know what I'm saying? We need to put that energy out there and continue to focus on us as a whole, continue to big up DI Love and big up other HBCUs. Once again, we are the only ones that can change that narrative. You know, so I'll leave it at that. There's too many of us not to. What else did we speak on? Let me see. Oh, but the bag, once again, I don't think at the end of the day, when it comes to that bag stuff, hey, don't get yourself too invested in any coach that come, any president that come, you know what I'm saying? Because then you emotionally get hurt. There's gonna be a lot of people hurt when Nick Saban leave, you know what I'm saying? Because they're emotionally invested. You know, no matter how he leave, they're gonna be hurt. Yeah. So you have to think about those things. Also, when it comes to renouncing, I would just say, hey, if you're going to publicly put stuff out there like that, you don't have to tell people that God told you to do it. That's between you and God. You don't tell people about your other conversations that you have with that God has with you. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes some of our conversations, especially that, need to be kept within side. Also, people are allowed to evolve. We have to understand that people are allowed to evolve, and we can't spank people or judge people for evolving in their own way. Now, how they choose to evolve, whether they choose to stand on the Golden Gate Bridge, we might be like, oh, that's foolish. They could have failed, and tell everybody how they evolve. That was their choice. Now, when we feed so much into it, then we give it legs. Once again, it's like feeding it to the Dion thing. We fed into it, we give it legs, we give it energy. You know, we have to watch what we're putting energy into. You know, we have to be protective of that. You know what I'm saying? So anytime we see negativity or something, that we don't need to share it. We don't even need to comment on it. We need to let it be, keep it moving, talk about positivity, and go on.
Yeah, my boy Crow evolved. Y'all see?
Well, you know, I give y'all a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know, keep y'all on y'all toes. Hey, what can I say? I'm different, baby.
I'm not gonna speak on the topics. I'm gonna just say we appreciate y'all coming in with us on this journey back. If you have anything you would like for us to discuss, we're gonna talk about in the group chat, see if we can keep this thing going. But if you have anything you would like for us to discuss, anything you would like for us to touch on, feel free to write any of the Brothers of Alpha Beta or write the Brothers Vent to Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want to comment on and let us know, and we'll get to it. But thank y'all for coming out tonight. Make sure y'all are renouncing all y'all whole ways and just keep pushing forward and moving forward. And we'll see y'all at the game. Well, I won't be at the game on Saturday, but I will be at homecoming. So hopefully I see y'all. Also, before we get off, we are thinking about doing a live for homecoming, right?
You're right.
I thought we were gonna do that actually on campus, wasn't it?
Hey, I'm about to say you got to go live in the streets for that one.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta set that thing up some kind of way to where we can actually do it on the campus of Jackson State. Same way that they do like a live show at like Colorado or some shit right now, or game day or something like that. We gotta do like a game day setup. Figure it out, Swift.
At the plot, you might could do something at the plot to go live at the plot or walk down and show the yard.
Then we can have a nighttime show going live with the big lights and the crew like cheaters. Get people sneaking in the sweat.
Y'all make sure y'all go play my boy Diddy album, man.
I'm one song in. I liked it. I'm one song in because y'all said something about it today.
Diddy on his R&B, bro. You can't really count him out on that, bro. Real talk now.
They said bring the women on. We
once took some questions from the ladies. You know what I'm saying? So I say we'll integrate that back in.
Yeah, y'all don't want my relationship topics right now, bro. It's up.
All right, well, y'all have a good
You're gonna be stuck in the basement, baby.
Right. Make sure y'all at the game tomorrow, and we will talk to y'all later. We'll watch the Facebook page, watch the Instagram for updates, and we'll talk to y'all later.
Y'all be safe out there. We appreciate y'all for chiming in. Definitely after this hiatus. Definitely much love.
Much love.